The Apple AirPods were released at the end of 2016 as an upgrade to the legendary EarPods that came before them. The EarPods cost $20 and the AirPods cost $160. That's a costly upgrade. For that reason and the fact that they only had 5 minutes of stage time at the Apple event in 2016 meant that they weren't too popular at the time of their release, and they were heavily criticised by the general public. It wasn't until late 2018 and early 2019 that they became the most popular earbuds on the market and people really started to appreciate them. Let's find out how they did it. What's up hustlers, Side Hustle Tech here, and today we're going to be taking a look at these little things here and their revisions and upgrades, and towards the end of the video we're going to figure out how they grew in popularity so exponentially. Stick around because we've got a lot to get through this video. Grab your popcorn, take a seat and let's get hustling. So the Apple AirPods followed the design of their predecessor, the EarPods, with no wire obviously. They had a slightly thicker and evidently longer stalk to house the battery and the microphone, but otherwise they were practically identical. They come with the idea that one size fits all, which isn't the case for everyone, but they fit my ears perfectly. They're very comfortable during long sessions and they don't fall out during intense sports sessions either. If anything, they feel just as secure as the wired versions, if not more, because you don't have the cable pulling them down out of your ear. The case is about the size of a box of floss, but obviously heavier, with a lightning port at the bottom for charging, just like the iPhones. It also has an LED light on the inside of the case that it basically tells you if they're charged or not. Green is charged for the AirPods, uncharged for the case if the AirPods aren't in there. Orange is when the AirPods and or the case are less than 80% charged. And white is when the AirPods are in Bluetooth pairing mode, so they're discoverable to other devices to be connected to. Pairing on these AirPods is really simple. You literally just pop open the case in front of any Apple device and they're discoverable. You can connect immediately. Obviously, pairing with a non-Apple device has to be done the more traditional way. So you hold the button on the back of the case until the light starts flashing white, and then they're discoverable by the non-Apple devices, which is when you can start pairing them. The Apple AirPods would automatically switch between paired devices depending on which device you're listening to. So if I'm watching a video on my iPhone and I pause the video and I watch a video on my MacBook, it automatically switches between them, which is really convenient. It's a bit like the Sony XM4s I reviewed in a previous video, but only for the Apple ecosystem. Controlling the AirPods is pretty simple. You just double tap them to carry out an action, and this action can be customized in the settings. You can double tap to do all the simple tasks like opening Siri, playing and pausing your music, skipping to the next track or rewinding, all the basics really. The controls for the left and the right AirPods can be managed in the settings app, and they work individually with one another, so I can use one to play and pause my music and the other one to skip tracks. A feature I really love about these AirPods is when you're listening to music and you take it out of your ear, it pauses the music so you can have a conversation with someone really easily, and then when you put it back in, it continues playing your music. This is really convenient, and it's a feature that you don't really appreciate until you use it. The sound quality of the AirPods is far superior to that of the EarPods. They have deeper basses and clearer trebles. At the time of their release were one of the best sounding earbuds on the market. Obviously it's 2021, it's been 5 years since their release, so they've been outdone by numerous different companies, but they still sound really good even here in 2021. Of course, for a premium price tag like $160, you expect good sound quality, and you're getting it here. I'm not blown away, but I'm also not disappointed. The AirPods get pretty loud too, and with that, their battery life lasts a really long time. The W1 chip inside the AirPods is very efficient. It allows for a 5-hour listening time with 24 hours with the included charging case. That's literally an entire day of listening without having to find a socket in the wall. Really convenient, really useful. After batterying these things for around 2 years, the battery life is still exceptional. I still only have to charge these once every few days or once every week. They keep me going. For people that listen to music on a more regular basis, charging these once every 2 weeks will do you just fine. As you already know, I've had these for around 2 years, and when it comes to durability, I'm talking from my personal experience, and I can tell you, I've not been careful with these things. I'm generally very careful with my tech, but the things I carry around every day do take a rough beating, so here we go. So I've thoroughly cleaned these things, I've dropped these things everywhere, I've thrown them about, and these things have lasted amazingly. Of course, they do have their fair share of dents and scratches, but the sound quality is still top notch. Battery life is still incredible, they still look really good, and they're still very comfortable. So I have to say, durability of these things is incredible. Because they're so lightweight, I felt like they were going to break after the first time I dropped them. But I've dropped these things numerous times and they're practically indestructible. So due to their one-size-fits-all nature, the Apple AirPods go directly into your ear canal, which means after a while they'll get pretty dirty with earwax and other stuff like that, so they need cleaning on a regular basis. Cleaning these is a tedious process. You've got to be careful not to get too much liquid inside the AirPods because it damages the sound quality. I've done it with a previous pair that I owned and I had to replace them because they were practically unusable. So do me a favour guys, clean these with care. All this time I've been talking about the 2016 original model. These were replaced at the start of 2019 with the second generation of AirPods. So these had the same shape, the same size, the same weight, the same design, and even the same sound quality, confirmed by Apple. The thing that changed was now the W1 chip was replaced by the H1 chip. So the H1 chip was supposed to outdo the W1 chip by supporting lower latency, faster pairing, faster switching between Apple devices, a longer battery life, and support for Hey Siri. So at the time of the release of the second generation of AirPods, they were highly anticipated. At this point, they were really popular and AirPods were booming. So these changes and these upgrades were really welcome. So aside from all the little changes, a big change between the first generation and the second generation was that the second generation of AirPods supported a wireless charging case. So the wireless charging case was practically the same as the original case, but there was a few minor changes. Firstly, it supported wireless charging, and secondly, instead of having the LED on the inside, it had the LED on the outside for convenience. And the LED light works just the way it does on the first generation case, with green for charged, orange for charging, and white for pairing. So in conclusion, the first generation of AirPods released in 2016 and the second generation released in 2019 were practically the same, apart from a few minor differences, and the second generation supported wireless charging. So that year, in 2019, towards the end, Apple released the Pro version of the AirPods, which totally changed the game. These AirPods were a totally different design, so it gave Apple's customers the ability to choose between the originals and this new design. The Pro version of the AirPods did cost a premium at $250, but this can be justified with all the features that I'm about to mention. So the Pro version of the AirPods show a clear difference in shape, size and design, unlike the second generation of AirPods compared to the first. So these Pros come with replaceable ear tips that come in 3 sizes, small, medium and a large. So Apple have gone from one size fits all to 3 sizes fits all. This is an improvement. And to house this whole package, the AirPod Pros come with a larger case. So you get the same H1 chip that comes with the second generation of AirPods, but now it supports ambient sound mode, active noise cancellation and adaptive EQ. And the control of the AirPod Pros differs to that of the original and the second generation of AirPods. I'm not going to get into how it works, but it's more complex. You can always look up the controls if you're curious, and Apple have them on their website, so be sure to go over there if you're looking to find them out. Of course, the sound quality for the Apple AirPod Pros will be more clear and crisp and even louder than the second generation of AirPods, because these go deeper into your ear canal. But the battery life is exactly the same because of that same H1 chip. Another convenient feature of the AirPod Pros compared to the second generation of AirPods is that they're water and sweat resistant on all sides. So with them being waterproof and with the replaceable ear tips, I presume they're much easier to clean. I don't have a pair, but I think that's the case. So in late 2020, Apple released the AirPods Max, which are in a league of their own, to be frank, and I'm not going to get into the details of those in this video because they deserve a video of their own, and we're only talking about earbuds here. So moving on swiftly from the AirPods Max, let's figure out how these AirPods got so popular. With the features being pretty similar to that of the rest of the earbuds on the market, why do Apple own 60% of the market share? Firstly, Apple's execution of all these features is outstanding, as it always is. The features are not unique by any means, everyone's done it, but the way Apple manages to make it work so seamlessly with the rest of their devices is unmatched here in 2021. So in 2016 and throughout their growth in popularity in 2018, Apple were leaps and bounds ahead of their competition, and this was probably very appealing to a lot of their customers. Moreover, in 2018, Apple released 3 iPhones instead of 2. So instead of appealing only to the high-end consumer, they also appealed to the mid-range consumer with the iPhone XR. With the introduction of the iPhone XR, Apple brought 70 million new customers into their ecosystem. And what pairs with a brand spanking new iPhone better than a brand spanking new pair of wireless earbuds that you know are going to work seamlessly with the iPhone you just bought? Finally, the revisions to the original AirPods and the release of the new shape meant that Apple will have appealed to a much wider audience in 2019, and that will have increased their sales massively. So the result of these incredible strategies and genius revisions from Apple turned what seemed to be a flop back in 2016 into the best-selling earbuds on the market. Okay, that's all from me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and comment what you think of the AirPods down below. Also, don't forget to click that bell icon to get notified every time I release a new video. But until the next one, keep hustling.